Pinpoint weather on NBC5 News is brought to you by the Cow Creek Umpqua Tribe.
Hey, welcome back to NBC5 again. Looking out on the Manor Cam, we do have some smoke out there, something we cleared out a little bit here in the valley through the weekend. 65 right now, only 2 degrees shy of where we were yesterday. West wind at 5 miles per hour. Hey folks, we got a cold front that's going to be pushing through. This is going to be bringing in some nicer temperatures, and the ridge of high pressure that's keeping things very hot continues across the south and the southwest. For us, we're going to stay pretty seasonal as we're getting through this week. Not too bad in terms of our high temperature. Still going to be a little warm on the in the afternoon hours, but overall morning temperature is still going to be a little bit nicer. We do have a red flag warning in place east of the Cascades. The wind speed's going to be kicking up, and we're going to, of course, with the dry air in place, fire conditions continue to increase across our eastern counties, and no signs of rain for us, unfortunately. So July looking to end on the drier side, which means Medford has no precipitation in its gauge for the month of July. And so far, nothing too promising as we're getting into the start of August. But that is not the case to our north. You see, just going along the coastline of Oregon and Washington, we do have some rain up there ahead of the cold front, and that's where the rain is going to stay. We might see a few sprinkles maybe into the coastline of Douglas and Coos County as we're getting through tonight, maybe even into the later, like around noonish into the early afternoon hours. But otherwise, a very dry forecast for the rest of us. We'll see some on and off clouds, especially further to the north. Otherwise, we've got that clearer sky sticking around through the rest of the forecast. Highs today going to feel not too bad out there. A lot of our areas sitting into the 80s. We'll be closing into that 90-degree mark here in Medford and into our far eastern counties. Some 60s for the coastline. And of course, we still have a lot of smoke out there. We talked a little bit about this already with the air quality level. Still good to moderate right now, with a lot of that smoke coming in not only from now the Flat Fire, but also the Golden Fire, which is east of Klamath Falls. And here's what that smoke is expected to do, clearing out for parts of our area, but it's going to be pushing to the east and southeast. So we see the Flat Fire smoke moving in and across Jackson County, Josephine County, and into Jackson County, and pushing out east as well. Here's the Golden Fire. That smoke's pushing out further east in towards Lakeview. So periods of some of that smoke, a little bit denser at times, covering the sky, and we'll see that filling in overnight tonight, settling into the early morning hours. And for your Tuesday, you kind of get that southeasterly push back into the forecast, and with that you see that smoke pushing to the south and southeast compared to the east like we're seeing here today. Wind speeds again going to be gusty east of the Cascades. You're seeing it up to around 10 to 20 miles per hour. Looks to be strongest in eastern Klamath, going into Lake and Modoc County, and with that some gusts could be as high as 30, some spots up to 40 miles per hour. Here in the valley, still going to be that light breeze up to around 10 to 15 miles per hour. So when we're talking about the red flag warning, of course, we go back to that graphic. Relative humidity value is going to be down into the 10 to 15%. So very dry air with that stronger wind east of the Cascades. So limit anything that could potentially start a new fire. The valley stays breezy pretty much through the rest of this week. Again, the wind's about 10 to 15 miles per hour, but highs, look at this, lower 90s. Seasonal temperatures to stick around, just no good signs of any rainfall. Upper 50s, lower 60s for those morning lows. We look at Klamath Falls. They're sitting into the mid 80s through much of this week, with sunshine still staying on the breezy side. Of course, could have some patchy dense smoke for our eastern counties. Some haze into northern California with highs in the lower to mid 90s, morning lows in the mid and upper 50s. The coastline will stay into the 60s, but slightly warmer here through Tuesday and Wednesday. Could still see some patchy smoke and some patchy fog in the morning hours, clearing out into the later half of this week with the wind speeds picking up.